I've already collected one of every Gengar card that exists, but I thought it would be a really fun adventure to try to fill my binder and collect 24 copies of every single Gengar card that exists. Yes, you heard me right, every single one. The really, really expensive ones, as well as the cheaper ones. And we all know there's some pretty rare Gengars out there. This time, we traveled to Card Party all the way in Seattle, Washington, and I managed to find a bunch of cool Gengars there. The first Gengar we spotted was at trade night, and I love trade nights. Whenever one is available, I always try to go. I think it's like reminds me of a Pokemon flea market type event. But the reason that excites me so much is because it's like an adventure. You never know what you're gonna find. You never know what type of collectors you're gonna meet. And sometimes you find the most unique, cool stuff as well as awesome deals. Gengar is extremely popular, so as soon as I walked on to the trade night floor, I spotted a Gengar immediately. It was the shiny Mega Gengar promo English, so I really wanted to pick that up. But I try not to spend money because Gengars are expensive and I will have to spend money sometimes, but we try not to where we can. And there was also this really cool Sylveon slab as well, so we also wanted to pick that up. So we found that Mega Gengar and we wanted to do some sort of trade. So I had the vendor look through my binder and they managed to find the BWR Victini, which I personally am not a super big fan of, so I was happy to trade that away. And I actually was a little bit over, in my favor, so they ended up giving me some cash on top. And now we get to add our first Gengar to the binder for this challenge. Now, there's a lot of binders. We've got one, two, three, and 4 that we have to fill. Now you may be wondering, why am I not like Pat? Why am I not using a giant binder for all of them? Well, I do not want to have to store a giant binder somewhere. And also, part of this challenge is so that I can have a nice clean 12 on one side, 12 on the other side to make that full page 24. Another question you may have is, why aren't they purple? Well, you know, I like to mix it up a little bit sometimes, and teal is actually my second favorite color. Now it's time to put this card in a sleeve and put it into the binder. My favorite sleeves to use for my collection are the Dragon Shield Classic Clears. I actually made a video about why I like to use these for my collection. Basically, they're clear like penny sleeves, so you can see the condition easily without taking it out of the sleeve, and they fit in a binder nicer than a penny sleeve. All right, let's re-sleeve this. Perfect fit. All right, and now let's find our spot in the binder where it goes. Here we go. One more, and that makes it number 15. As we were looking around at the show, we actually managed to find a Gengar that we didn't need, but in that moment, another collector noticed that we were looking for Gengars and brought us over to his stuff. And he had a massive amount of Gengars, which is kind of to be expected because he was wearing a Gengar onesie, so it was like very fitting. But his binder was very, very impressive, and we managed to pick up a ton of Gengars from him. After I found him, I actually had to go grab my stuff because I didn't want to carry all that stuff with me, and I typically over prepare just so I can make sure that I have what I need to maximize the potentials for trades so I don't have to spend more money than I need to. So I grabbed that, and he only really wanted Gengar cards, which good taste. I love it. But I didn't have too many Gengar cards on me because I also collect Gengars, but I had a couple that I was downgrading from because I have got 10s of those particular cards. He really liked those, as well as an Umbreon slab that I happen to have. I was able to find a bunch of Gengar cards that I needed. The Gengar Prime, the Mega Gengar Secret Rare, another shiny Mega Gengar promo, a Diamond and Pearl Reverse, another Diamond and Pearl Reverse, the Prize Pack Series 2 Gengar V Max, the Prize Pack Series 2 Gengar V, a cool Pokemon Time card, I think from the Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon VS series, as well as some non-holo Japanese cards. And then something crazy happened. Somebody just happened to show up with an Arita signature sketch authenticated PSA slab, which is a super cool piece. Unfortunately, was made out to somebody, which they started doing later on after people really started going into reselling signature cards, but still a super cool piece to get shown at this event. With how crazy the prices of Gengar have been recently and all the fluctuation, we had a hard time coming to an agreement on prices for some of the cards, and it ended up taking a really long time because he really wanted to go off of the pictures of eBay listings to match as closely the condition of cards that had sold compared to the condition of his cards, and then basing the price off of that. So that took a really long time, but eventually we kind of got there. He ended up finding 2 slabs that he was interested in trading for, the first being a PSA 5 Skyridge Gengar Hollow that we later came to the agreement of a value of 2,000, and a CGC Old 8 label of the Moonbryon in Japanese that we later agreed a value of 1,350. After a lot of negotiating, we were able to come to an agreement. Usually I don't agree on cards with people. I will just kind of be like, it's okay if we don't agree, you know, we can just not do it. But I really wanted these Gengars, so I definitely put a little extra effort in. That was a huge haul. Now we gotta put all these guys in their new home. Luckily, I've been pretty good at keeping up with the newer cards as they've been coming out. And then I also like to do the cameo cards, the ones that have Gengars in the artwork but aren't necessarily Gengar cards. There he is. And that makes 2. Now we're gonna put away this one. Another shiny. Did you know that this is the only instance of shiny Gengar on a card? All right, that makes 16 in this one. The Gengar Secret Rare Mega Series 2 prize pack promos. Now we got this neat little Diamond and Pearl Reverse VS Series Gengar, which I wish they would have made into a holo. Pretty unfortunate that it's not. Japanese Skyridge Gengar.
A few later.
This is the last one from this little batch that we got, and that is number 4 of that one. Our next stop was the show floor. Are we gonna be able to find any Gengar cards here with all the other vendors? We came across a Gengar, but it wasn't one we needed. The search continues.
I do. Do you have one?
One of the vendors heard that we were looking for Gengar cards and says they have one.
Damaged. We love damaged. It's cheaper.
Let's see if we can make a trade.
Do you guys take trades or just cash? Trades as well? Okay, cool. This in trades so we don't have to spend as much money, because I feel today's gonna be a very expensive day. Oh, that is nice. That is nice.
Oh my gosh, another Diamond and Pearl Gengar. Sweet.
Got another one we needed. Let's go. We're raking them in. We're raking them in.
He looked through the binder to see if there was anything he wanted to grab, pricing a couple things out here and there.
Limited. I have enough of these, and I have enough of this one. Yeah.
That's all.
That's okay. That's good. 3 is good.
Yeah.
3 more plus 3.
So luckily the vendor did find some stuff they were interested in. They found a shiny Noctowl, a Lugia EX, a super awesome card, a White Kyurem, and a Secret Empoleon, all the way back from Black and White. We did decide to switch out the Empoleon for the Yveltal and Xerneas card, and we did sell everything to them at 80% because they were vending at the event, and I vended before, so totally reasonable to ask that percentage, and then we were able to walk away with those Gengar cards. Little guest spotlight there, we got Legion in the background waiting for me to finish this trade. Also a super huge Gengar fan. At this booth, we ended up getting a Diamond and Pearl Gengar, the Legendary Collection Reverse Gengar, which is going to be a tough one to get 24 of, but we're working our way there, and some more of the Morty's VS Series Gengars. Yes, we got 3 more. Another VS Series Morty's Gengar. All right, that is number 5. And now we are completing a super tough one step closer on the Legendary Collection Reverses. All right, and this one is just in the very front. All right, and we got the Japanese DP1 non-holo, and that is number 6. Back on the search for more Gengar. We continued our quest, looking at some other booths for more Gengar cards. Nothing here. Not this one. Oh, that's sick. Oh wow, look what we stumbled across at my friend's booth. We found another legendary collection reverse Gengar and another secret rare Mega Gengar. We asked him to pop them out of the case to see if he would do a trade. They managed to find a PSA 9 Expeditions Blastoise, a PSA 9 Expeditions Venusaur, and a first edition PSA 9 Typhlosion. They are a worthy sacrifice to the cause. More Gengars acquired, and some really rare ones at that. Legendary collection going in the binder. All right, that makes 6. Let's put this secret rare Mega Gengar away. Ooh, that's gonna be number 5. We're getting closer. One step closer every time. Let's go. We added so many new Gengars from Card Party to the collection, and our journey to complete 24 copies of every Gengar is inching ever closer. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep it spooky.